Internet's hottest new radio station, New Bedford, Massachusetts, home of the legendary Tavons and just the collection of some cool-ass and wonderful people.
Stay tuned. The show is about to begin.
And straight to sports, where we're here on this lovely Thursday afternoon, and we're here. I should say that there's a lot of sports news to talk about.
It's like Sports Christmas today, right?
Well, for you it is.
Yeah. Well, my green to honor the Sports Christmas.
For you it is anyway.
That's why you're almost invisible.
Yeah.
Like the Lions championships.
See-through. Oh.
Why? The Vikings have how many?
We're talking about basketball. Stick to Milwaukee.
Why? Is it basketball season?
Why? Can't we just get going to a regular? Can we not get into a regular type of thing? So as we know, it is week 4 in the NFL, and how the mighty have fallen.
Anybody in particular, B?
You go from a hero to a 0 in one game.
That guy is feisty over there in the see-through green.
It's okay.
No. On a serious note,
I can loan you a couple of victories if you want.
Everybody, yeah, but not to Arizona.
It doesn't make a difference. I can loan you a couple of wins if you want.
When you play our schedule, it'll change.
I think we have a tougher schedule.
Not yet.
Listen, overall, we have a tougher schedule than you.
No, you don't.
Just the NFC East alone is tougher. Your division is no
Really?
business.
So you're saying Detroit's not good?
All right, so let's count the number. Let's count the number of victories that you have in your division as opposed to our division.
How many games the Giants won again?
The Giants have won 1 game.
Oh.
The Eagles have won 3. The Cowboys have won 2. I think we got you beat already.
Not our whole division.
Yes.
Derek, how many wins does Detroit have?
I think
2.
How many wins does Green Bay have?
2.
0.
We'll be right back after
Okay,
this.
yeah, all right. Thought so.
I didn't want to get into.
If you want to go down that
I
street,
didn't want to get into that one.
I've seen the.
But the meat and potatoes of your schedule is still to come.
But this is what I'm saying. The NFC East in particular.
The Chargers are bad.
Listen,
Philly.
Listen, the NFC East in particular. Okay, all I gotta say is there was 3 teams that made it in the playoffs last year. How many made it from your division?
Well, see, there was Minnesota.
See what happened, right?
It was Minnesota.
And you lost to who? From the who? NFC East? What team? Okay, see, so be careful what road you go down before you try to.
We all know that I'm playing for that trade next week so that we can tank and get a top 5 pick.
Yeah, please do that. So what I will suggest is, like I said, how the mighty have fallen, and when I say that.
So you're saying we were mighty at one time?
I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
As long as you don't play Arizona no more, you should be good.
You know the strange part about it. So I actually seen the stat prior to the game, and I said, there's no way that'll happen. In Dallas's last 6 games against Arizona, they are 1-5.
Stay tuned. The show is about to begin.
And also, we've got to talk about certain trades in the NBA.
And the whole thing is football.
But yeah, the trade, and which we thought was going to happen, didn't happen in the way that we thought it was going to happen. We thought that Dame was going to go to Miami and serve basketball player upset. And yeah, so we'll talk about that as well as we'll time permitting, we'll talk about some baseball as well because
Good things happening there too.
But something, as luck would have it, the neither nor the Red Sox or the Yankees have any say or any to do with what's going on currently. And that makes for a not so good Major League Baseball. Let's say
For around there.
when the Yankees or the Red Sox are involved, it's always better for the ratings. Flat out.
Bigger market.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, it's the right. When you think of baseball, you think of I think the greatest rivalry going was the Red Sox and the Yankees. And that just added to the larger than life figures, and they were always competing. And there's a huge split, and both of those teams are now at the bottom. So we'll talk about that, as well as some other things that are about, right? As well as some other things. So yes, we'll get to that, but we'll start first with the NFL, and we'll run it through the game, and we'll see what what we thought. So
A close game with Denver and Miami, right?
yeah,
Yeah, it was only, I think the spread was 51.
no,
Yeah.
always close. So let's talk about it.
Either 51 or 50 and a half. But is Denver that bad or is Miami that good?
I think that
I was a mixture of both.
for me, I think it was a combination. I think that's an anomaly, and I don't think that it'll happen again. I don't think so. Let's
That's not. That's not. Tyreek Hill, 9 for 157. And they didn't even have Jalen Waddle.
no, there was no Jalen Waddle, which you think about it, right? That would be another person to just sit there and look at it, and it would literally be another person to add to the offensive barrage.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, they ran all over him, and Tyreek Hill did his thing. Most have had 4 touchdowns. Shane had 4 touchdowns. Robbie Chosen even got on the board.
Listen, every time I look around, every time I happen to look up, there was a score at some point in time, and it wasn't even. Let's say, if I had to guess, it seemed like there was a score probably like every 7 to 8 minutes. So you know how they give updates. You're sitting watching it, And, well, we gotta break in. You're not gonna believe it. They scored again. Oh, no, they scored again. I'm saying to myself,
A replay?
Are we on a repeat?
I guess their punter didn't get on the field.
And it just kept going.
I don't think they punted
And
it.
it looked, if they punted it, that's.
Did the defense score it off?
That's a miracle. Yeah, no, the defense turned the ball over, four times? 4 or 5 times, I think it was. But yeah, so it goes to show you that, when we, I think the last time we've seen an offensive barrage like that probably came from the Patriots when they were on the historic run.
Yeah, they only had
Three turnovers is enough.
2 fumbles by Cortland Sutton.
That's 21 points. But the thing is, I think it's an anomaly. I do believe that the Dolphins, do have a great offense. But to say that they're gonna do that on a consistent basis, no, I don't believe so. I don't believe that they're gonna, I think they'll do it to the bad teams. I don't think they do it to the good teams.
But that's not that offense.
And Terry Hill struggled. I believe he only had 2 picks. I may be wrong, 2 or 3 picks. And they were held to under 30 points. When they beat the Patriots, what did they win? They won by a touchdown, right?
24-7.
There you go, 24-17. So this is what I'm referring to. We all know that the Patriots have a good defense.
5 for 40.
5 for 4, that's 8 yards. That's
And a touchdown.
12 yards underneath his average. Exactly.
That just goes to show you the level of talent in which they were playing against. So should we overhype them? Look, so I won't say we, I will say the media overhyped Dallas's defense. And what happens? They got smacked around all over the place.
And it wasn't just because of Trayvon Diggs, yeah.
No,
It was
no.
everywhere.
Well, it was a plethora of things. Do you want to start with, 1 for 5 in the red zone? That can't happen. Do you want to start with the 13 penalties that they had? That can't happen.
Questionable offense with a second string quarterback. How were they able to be successful against such a good defense?
They ran the ball.
Connor.
But I will tell you this much. And the guys who are in my Dallas group chat can co-sign for it.
That wasn't quiet this week.
They all got me
The
blocked.
chat? No, you're not in it. You're not a Cowboys.
I figured
No.
that chat would have been kind of quiet.
So what I will tell you is that I immediately when they said Trayvon Diggs is out, I said, and these were my exact words, okay? And you guys got all over me. I said, you might as well forget about it. This season is over. I didn't get to explain myself. I said it with emotion. I'll admit that. I was kind of pissed when I heard it, but I didn't get to explain myself. So they're like, "What do you mean the season's over?" I said, "Let me expound upon that." I said the season is over, meaning we probably won't make it, maybe past the second round again. I said because we're back in the same situation we were at last year, and they were like, "Well, we got rushes and everything." I said, "Listen, a good team will scheme out and will literally figure out where that weak link is and continue to go after it." And that's what they did. That's pretty much the way the Cowboys have been the last 2 years since Trayvon Diggs is there. It's always go at the other corner, go at the other corner, go at the other corner. And with him leaving now, it's you got a good corner and you've got a question mark.
What's number one? Is he a safety or a corner?
He is a safety. So what's going to end up happening is you're going to, teams are going to figure it out. And let's face it, Arizona gave a pretty good blueprint on how to beat the Cowboys.
They sure did.
Don't run away from Michael Parsons, run at him in a jumbo package. So there's a lot that goes into it. But with that being said, like I said, some teams, they trend in the right way. And you got to look at history because history means a lot. I told you 1-5 in the last 6 games, and they beat them last year too. So it there's certain teams that just have the number for reason unexplained. Let's.
You think they overlooked them?
I did. I think they overlooked them. I think they got caught up in their own hype. I think that they were. Oh, you continue, and this is the reason why I always said I wish people would just leave the Cowboys alone and let them play. No matter how bad they are, they get attention. When they're good, they get the wrong attention, negative attention. You know what I'm saying? And then it's almost like a lift up. I just wish that they wouldn't listen to a lot of the hype. But to get back to my original point, in that group text, I said that, and a lot of guys were down on me. I said, listen, I'm just going
Being
to
a realist,
be,
man.
yes, I'm going to be a realist until I see different and they can prove me wrong. Then that's how it'll be. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they're going to do this and they're going to do that. No, I see a glaring hole on the opposite side in Dick's spot. And until they can shore that up, until somebody can show me that they can step in there and play it consistently without getting beat. And what did they do? So I'll tell you an interesting fact. So the Cowboys were number 1 in the league playing man-to-man. 65% of their passes were man-to-man. What did they try doing Sunday? Zone.
They killed it.
And they killed it. There was botch coverages. One play, there was nobody within 30 yards of him. And this is what happens. All right, you gotta get you insert something that you very rarely play, and this is the result. So yeah. Will I? They're playing against Buffalo. It's like a sucker's bet. They've got that fishing pole out there so far with that line and sinker, and they're like, go ahead, take it. And it's just going to be a huge disappointment.
Buffalo's favored by 2.5.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Everybody's looking at that and saying, "There's no way they scored 7." It's one of those things where you look at it and you're like, Vegas knows. They're just putting that out there and say 2.5. We're watching a team that just put up historic numbers.
70 points.
But if you go, like I said, if you go back 2 weeks ago,
All you gotta do is win by a field goal.
yeah. But if you go back and you look at what they did against the Patriots, they kind of struggled. And Buffalo plays a similar defense to what the Patriots play. They play a zone, and they've got help below and above. 2-man safety.
Now, do you think that they can get the same pressure onto it that the Patriots got?
Buffalo has a decent defense.
They have a decent inside guy in all of them. But I don't know what they have on the outside.
Well, this is the thing. So you don't have to put tons of pressure on Tua. You just need to change things up. You gotta make the eyes see different things. And I believe that's what Buffalo's gonna do this week. Will they take their chances and blitz at certain times? Yeah, I'm sure they will. The thing with Tua is he's able to get the ball out of his hands so quickly and let guys run in space.
He's got his track team behind him.
So when you have a track team, what's the best thing to do? You get pressure, and you disrupt to take Buffalo. Divisional game, chances are they're not going to have the same success that they had last week. Anyone else's thoughts?
I still think Miami's going to play well. They seem like they got everything going. The offense, the defense could be a little better, but man, we're going to add Jalen Waddle to an offense that scored 70 points.
That's the crazy part.
And it's not like Denver's defense sucks.
They did that without
They
Waddle.
just couldn't keep up.
Yeah, but let's swap now. Let's put Buffalo in the place of Denver. Now you're talking about an offense that was a lot of 3 and outs, as opposed to an offense that can that will be able to drive.
I don't think we're saying that Miami's going to put up 70 on Denver.
No.
But
I'm just saying
they did.
Yeah,
no,
they did.
Denver. I'm sorry,
on Buffalo.
On Buffalo.
But now you got to look at on the flip side. You got to look at Miami's defense because Buffalo has a superior offense. Denver does.
They do.
And they're going to be able to run the ball to take time off the clock. That's all part of
See,
the
I'm
game.
not convinced Buffalo can run the ball yet.
They can run the ball. They
The
can run
quarterback
the ball.
can run the ball.
Well, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
he's their best running
Once
back.
he
That's what I'm
starts
saying.
running, it opens up the possibility.
But the thing that gets me is makes the best decisions.
Well,
He's digressing his day ball.
Well, that's been his Achilles heel. He's careless with the ball.
Yeah.
But if you look at what they did last week, you go from what he did against the Jets to what he did last week. I mean, let's face it, Washington has a good defense.
Yes, they do.
They've got their front four is really good.
Perennial
And
all-pros,
they embarrassed them. It wasn't even close. So
yeah, but Washington couldn't move the ball at all.
I know.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for that pass rush. Because they got Bradley Chubb last year, right?
Yeah.
From Denver.
From Denver, yeah.
And he just seems like he hasn't found his groove or fit in yet. Like, I don't know if the scheme's right for him or
It's that other guy, number 15. I can't remember his name. But number 15, he's tough.
for
For
Miami.
Miami. I got you in a second. Give me 1 second.
I don't know the numbers. I'm trying to think. Is it edge rusher?
I believe so. I got
That's
you.
not the guy with the
light skinned kid.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking.
15
about
sounds like a number that would be a safety or.
No,
Well,
he's
with the way they change the numbers now,
Yeah.
you can have low numbers. You don't have to have a 55 number or in the 50s, whatever the case may be.
got you in a second. Come on, I want to go slow.
Yeah. So looking at what some of the comments over here, Paul saying that they hit wide receivers hard early, take those penalties, but put their eyes on a swivel. You got to disrupt them some way, somehow. You can't just continue to let them run in open space. That's just no good. You got to close up the airspace, and you got to be physical with them. Disrupt the routes. I mean, that's football 101. If you're playing against a team like that, you got to take chances in the way of getting up on them and jamming them. I want to make you my statistician. A little long.
I know. And the crazy part about it is I had him right in my head.
So let's move on. Let's talk. What other game caught your eye in regards to Sunday or Monday?
Chargers and the Vikings.
Yo, you know why? Because
Oh.
it was dumb decision making
See
on
what
both
happened.
teams. No.
Oh, who? The Chargers and the Vikings?
Yeah.
What like
Staley, I don't
they
understand.
gave you the ball inside the 20.
Right. I don't even get why he made that decision. And then I couldn't get when we did get the ball and we were driving, 15 seconds on the clock, and we don't spike the ball. We don't call a timeout. The quarterback doesn't look at the clock. The coach doesn't, call a timeout or tell him to spike the ball. No awareness on the field by the Vikings
But
whatsoever.
Steven, you guys got the ball inside. I don't know if it's. I think we'll say it was inside the 25 or 30, with not that much time left. But you also got another first down inside the 5
Oh yeah.
and couldn't score.
But let's look at the game, how it ended. Can we really blame the quarterback for that throw?
Not really.
It wasn't his fault.
It was rushed. There was no set play.
I
I did think he put too much juice on
I'm
it.
talking about the results. It wasn't.
It was tipped.
It was
Tipped off his own off Jefferson's hands, but I think he threw the ball with too much velocity, and that showed it was hard to catch, and it went off Jefferson's hands.
But you're supposed to have hands.
Yeah.
I'm with Keith. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm using a Vicus or a phone.
I don't have the
research.
best. I don't have the best Wi-Fi in here right now.
He's gonna blame it on the Wi-Fi. We have listen, Keith. We have excellent Wi-Fi.
Everything's
My
running
phone-
a little slow
My
right now,
phone
Keith.
works really well in here.
Yeah,
You know what it is? It must be that Detroit thing, feeling to move fast. Must be the Detroit
Right.
thing.
Is it because of the 2-1 record, the same record as the Cowboys, the superior Cowboys?
Listen, I never said they were superior. It's
I
the
don't know,
media.
everybody else
It's
does.
the media. The media puts them up here.
Are you kidding me?
They said that this year.
Yes.
They must be saying it to get under your skin. They don't say it around me. They don't say it around me. They do not say it around me.
I just think that's a common characteristic trait.
The only ones that I really don't hear
every single
is you.
year.
Is you and Keith Rodrigues. He's another Cowboy fan.
Yeah,
But he's one of them guys that don't say, this is our year.
he used his hands to
COVID
say
thumb.
that you got COVID thumbs.
Nah, you say that no more.
Look at Bruno. Bruno's using our chat to find out where you're watching the game.
That's my boy.
All right.
That's my dog right there.
Listen, he's using the chat to find out where you're watching the game.
I'll hit you up after this, Berto.
It's a secret location. He doesn't want nobody to see him cry.
Yeah. Oh.
Steve, Steve, you're playing for a draft pick. Are you kidding me? That's why you got on basketball gear right now.
There was a major happening that we'll get to
No,
later.
yeah, we're on football. We're on the NFL,
Yeah.
not BA. All right.
Derek, was there any other games that impressed you this week?
I'm trying to look right now.
Because I was impressed with that Green Bay comeback.
I wasn't.
Just because the poise, and he didn't have Watson, he didn't have Aaron Jones, and they got it done. Their defense kept the game close, and when it came time to lead the comeback, they were down like what 17-0, and
Yeah,
17-0 in the fourth.
18,
Yeah.
18 on Ellers.
yeah, they scored 18, but they were down 17-0. Yeah, and they ended up winning 18-17. So their defense held par, and their offense got it done during crunch time.
And it also didn't help that Derek Carr went up.
Yeah, but New Orleans got a good defense. People sleep on their defense. Their defense is still good.
Yeah, but when you don't have a quarterback and you
Take
have
time off the
All
clock.
right. I'm just saying that I didn't expect him to make the transition the way he has. It seems like he's in control. He's not scared by the big moment.
He was a first-round draft pick, wasn't he?
Yeah, they moved up to get him.
So
That's
he's
what
gotta
pissed
have
me
some kind of talent.
Yeah, but just didn't get the chance for 3 years, you know?
Not
It's the same thing,
not
but-
everybody gets drafted.
But you took away
We
two
got a guy
of
that
his,
got drafted for like a gazillion picks, and now he's getting healthy inactives.
Yeah, but think about it. He pretty much took the same route as an Aaron Rodgers. Pretty much.
He did this, yeah. He did the same thing. You get to
You know
sit
what I mean?
back and watch. And if it were up to Aaron Rodgers would probably have him cast it off, so he has no one looking over his shoulder. It was a pride thing.
He wanted him.
It's
it's just
it's a
nobody
pride.
knew what we were going to see when Jordan Love finally became the quarterback. We didn't know if he was as good as advertised, if he wasn't living up to expectation, like a Trey Lance or something like that.
But the funny thing about it was, they had him. They had him.
There you go, Jalen Phillips.
Jalen
Yes.
Phillips. Thank you,
Keith.
Keith. The COVID thumbs and the bad
Yo, I
Wi-Fi.
stopped.
The COVID thumbs and the bad Wi-Fi. I was just waiting
That's
for
the
another
kid from
excuse to
Miami,
come.
right?
Yes.
I was just waiting for another excuse to come. Like,
No,
see what had happened.
We
right?
moved on, so I just stopped looking.
I forgot the point that I was.
See, good enough.
And it was a good one too. It was a good.
Well,
oh
we're
no,
talking about Jordan
We're
Love.
talking about Jordan Love. So in regards to Jordan Love, do you remember when they were saying that they were when Aaron Rodgers was hurt? They were saying they actually took him out of uniform because they were embarrassed to have him on the field.
But I think that had to do with Aaron. Aaron wanted.
You had to be saying, how is this possible? How is it possible that somebody, that got taken that high and was supposed to be, take over the franchise after Rodgers left, be so bad that you're literally going to make him inactive on purpose? So there's no question about. I want to really say, hey, GM, what the hell? What was going on here?
Aaron Rodgers put his foot down.
That's bad. That's really bad.
He had that much power over them. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, and to look to see what he's doing now, it's almost eerily similar as to.
Well, Brett Favre did the Aaron Rodgers.
Well, yeah, that. But I'm saying my point was going to be, it's almost eerily similar to how Denver, not the quarterback, but Denver said, how not Denver,
Green Bay.
no, who's the quarterback? Seattle.
Geno Smith.
letting thing go and saying, okay, well, we're gonna let you go and we're moving on for you, but we don't have a quarterback that's proven, but we're going to make that. We're going to take that chance.
Yeah, they see that quarterback every day in practice. They know what they think the potential is.
Yeah.
But Geno Smith was a journeyman backup.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So
And what he did last year was great.
he's not doing a bad job right now.
Yeah.
either.
Looks like he's keeping it going.
Yeah.
With that one big year contract.
Yeah. but yeah, for me, it's a head scratcher to see. You know,
No,
tell
it was
him
text. I'm showing up in person. Boo, boo.
he was on fire.
Boo me, sign language.
Can we talk about the games that disappointed us?
I got one.
I've got a couple of them.
Oh, you're probably going to say the one I'm looking at. But
The Jaguars.
that's one of them. I was going to say the Ravens.
True.
The Jaguars. What is going
I
on?
picked them to come out and be in the AFC
Everybody did.
Championship.
Well,
game.
I didn't go that far.
I didn't say we had to finish winning the division.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but I had them winning at least one game in the playoffs, possibly two. Like getting to the AFC
The
Championship.
Texans, they smashed them.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close.
Now, can we talk about the wide receiver for the Texans?
Dell
One, they're all
Dell?
Nico Collins, Tank Dell.
Dell's
And,
balling out right now.
He is. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's probably amongst the leaders in every receiving category.
He's up there.
In touchdowns, yards, and catches.
Yeah, the crazy part about it is like, and I'm in 5 fantasy leagues. He was available in at least 4 of them.
See, Keith, that's a problem. Four fantasy leagues, the thumbs aren't working real good.
Get burned out.
I take my time with that. Are you kidding?
The thumbs aren't working real well, and the phone is worn out. That's what it is. The memory's gone.
Can't read the
From
read the numbers on the phone no more.
switching over to so many fantasy leagues, he's wearing out the screen from
Four
flapping
all
on.
in one.
So this is what happens when you're in 7. That's how your screen. Oh,
Yeah. See?
He's
Hey, he's in 7, but he got basketball gear on.
it was cold out.
Yeah. You don't have a Minnesota Vikings sweatshirt?
Not a hoodie, just a game shirt. It's going to
Listen.
be real cold by the time I leave.
You don't have to hear that dumb saying. What is it again?
School!
You hear right
Another word after that.
Yeah. So the
I'm
Jaguars.
disappointed with Jacksonville. What is the reason behind their demise so far?
Well,
I was a big Trevor Lawrence fan.
It's
this
really
year.
simple. You're not getting the same quarterback play. You're not. There's a lot of inconsistencies on offense, and defense definitely isn't the same defense.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
37 points to the Texans.
yes, I think, but you know something?
And I think they were at home.
They were at home.
Yeah, it was
And
in Jacksonville.
You know something? I think this is a classic case of a young team who's going to show 1 week one thing, then the next week another thing.
They don't have the
It's a-
veterans to keep them grounded.
Yeah, it's a classic case. I don't know who the veterans are on that team. I'm not quite sure.
It has to be Calvin Ridley. And he missed all last year,
Yeah, he
at least on offense.
Yeah, but you don't look at him in that way. He's brand new to the team. It
Yeah.
has to be somebody within that has
Christian-
been.
Their whole
Christian Kirk.
their whole
Correct.
offense is young, like Etienne,
Travis
Oh yeah,
Lawrence.
I know. So this is
Yeah.
this is a classic case of a team. Once again, listening to how good that they can
Reading
be,
their
and
press clippings.
not going and not translating onto Sunday.
Not for nothing, but if you're Calvin Ridley, you're supposed to be the leader of this team, and you only have 3 catches for 40 yards.
Yeah.
That's awful.
That's
that's
the last
awful.
game, all right.
Yeah, against the Texans.
That's God.
How many targets did he get though? I mean, did they not go to him? Did he get double teamed?
I couldn't tell you how many.
You go from 10 points to 17 points. Everybody's like, oh, just stay in your game plan. It doesn't. It's not that easy.
No, it's not
It's
easy.
not that easy.
Especially
If you're down by 17 in the first quarter, that's a
Yes,
different
it's
story. But if it's the beginning of midway through the third quarter, you have to show some urgency. And sometimes it doesn't always work out.
No.
Things backfire. And just think about it, right? You want to try to get back, so you throw, and before you know it, you're like, damn, 3 plays in under a minute. And you're giving the ball back to the team, and that team is going down methodically, scoring and increasing the lead.
Yeah.
It's sometimes, it's a catch-22. It's one of those things that, you think that I'm going to go back and pass, and what you're doing is you're playing
Team got
right
your
in there.
number. Team got your number.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do.
Yeah.
You were talking about that game and how bad they were, but how impressive was the Texans. But most importantly, the rookie quarterback.
Stroud, yes.
Yes.
You know, people were saying he wasn't going to be the best quarterback in the draft. He was always my favorite in the draft because I thought that Bryce Young was going to struggle because of his size. But very efficient. He's not turning the ball over. Put up 37 points on the road against a playoff team.
20 for 30, 280, 2 touchdowns.
So
no
let's
INTs.
talk about who out of that rookie class he is by far the best quarterback.
Well, Richardson's having a good year,
Ah,
but he got
Richardson's
hurt
hurt.
last
He's
week.
hurt.
One game, he's back now.
Well, no. So if we look at their entire body, that
Three games.
means getting hurt. Whatever the case, Stroud is.
Well, you can't criticize him for getting hurt. The games he was healthy, he produced. Now, if he
That was
and Dell, yeah, but
that was
Dallas
gonna be
to
that
me
number
is
one
still
receiver.
a 2 or 3. But when they can get that 6'3" wide receiver, somebody like they need a CeeDee Lamb. They need the explosive guy that can just change the game. I think Dell will be a great supplemental player when you put somebody on the other side of him, so you can't double team Adele or double team the other guy they got there. But I don't know what their offensive line looks like. I think they invested some money in free agency, but
It's a bunch of fat guys.
did Tunsil go there?
I don't
Oh no, he went to Miami and then he got hurt, I think. But
But as you were saying, right, Richardson, the Russian.
yeah,
What injury is he out for?
Concussion.
he hit his head on the turf when he fell, but that
After
it
scoring a
wasn't.
touchdown.
Yeah, after scoring a touchdown. I don't think.
After running.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
but it wasn't
but-
because of a hit. It was the way he fell and his head hit the turf.
But if he didn't run, maybe his head wouldn't have hit the turf. This is the thing.
That could have happened on a drop back incomplete pass. You just get knocked to the ground, your head hits the turf. It's just
It's part of the game.
Unless you're practicing how to fall like Tua. And you're taking kung fu lessons and karate lessons and all these other martial arts, so you can fall the right way. Learn how to fall.
It's all part of why they drafted him. But and we can't say that is the reason why.
I'm impressed with both for different reasons because the other thing with Richardson, they lost their number one runner, so he has to be their runner, and he's big enough. He's exciting enough that he gives you a chance on
Did they
offense.
lose their number one runner, or is he refusing to play?
Well, I don't think he'll ever play for the coach again. He's only got this
Is he
week, and then his
refusing to play?
suspension's over, or his being on the pup list is over.
Yeah.
I bet you he gets traded
He's not suspended.
right after this week.
No,
He's on. Once you got an owner making dumb remarks about your team, do you want to play there?
depends on how much I'm getting paid.
Yeah, but we know the running backs aren't getting paid, and yes, that's a big factor.
So yeah, he's out.
But now this guy's clowning me and talking about, treating me like I'm a scrub, man. This dude led the league in rushing 2 years ago.
And this is the same owner who hired a coach fly by night, didn't have any experience.
Oh yeah,
Jeff Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday. But yes, but
Pancake Saturday.
but the big difference is he's the owner. He gets to call the shot.
yeah. But there's a certain way you got to address your team. You gotta,
I agree.
You
I
can't.
agree. But as I said, when you're the boss, you get to call the shots. As long as they don't listen, you could talk about a player. You can't say anything derogatory as far as his sexual, preference, his race, his religion. If you just say what he said, then you're
very condescending.
But once again, he's the owner. All right. At the end of the day, he signs the checks.
Whoa.
He signs the checks. I already said that.
Yeah, he did.
I already said that.
I knew they played him well. I didn't.
I
realize it
said
was
6-1. With the
Oh,
win,
yeah.
it makes it 7-1.
Yeah.
I said that.
I would have never thought
I
the
seen.
discrepancy in talent with those teams.
I seen that stat. I said 6-1.
And-
With the
and
win, it
that's-
makes it
and that's when
7-1.
I said when the team has your number, they have your number.
Yeah. But yeah. So when you're an owner, like I said, as long as you, look how many dumb things Jerry Jones said. You know,
But
what I'm
not
saying?
about his players.
But just in general,
He does say dumb
So,
things.
but let's talk about. So, I could go on. We could have a whole show about dumb things that he said, right? But let's take, for instance, about coaches. It doesn't have to be towards a player. You can say dumb things in general. But at the end of the day, he signs checks. I bet a lot of his teammates probably had his back, but no one's going to come out and say it, directly, openly, because it's just one of those things.
A repercussion.
Yeah. But yeah, I get it. But for me, it's
Yeah,
like
right.
for
Allen
me,
and all that.
for me, it's like, newsflash, have you not been watching what NFL backs are getting offered, I don't think you're going to get. You might get a little more money, but not what you're seeking.
No, unless it's heavy incentive based.
Even still, yeah. I don't
Maybe he
think.
just don't want to be in Indiana anymore.
I don't think that he's going to get it either way. The running backs, the running back committee they're so down on them right now. It just isn't going to
But-
happen. Listen. You know what's going to change that, and the only way it'll get changed is if 2 or 3 running backs run. They run, and when I say run, it has to be
2000.
no, it doesn't even have to be 2000. If you get a couple of running backs that hit the 1,500-1,600 mark on a contract year, because you may not value them, but there's some other people out there that are going to
And
value
that's
them a
what I
little
feel
more.
about Jonathan Taylor. The coach might say he's not worth it, and that's fine. But at this point, if I'm Jonathan Taylor, if I got a $7 million offer from the coach and a $7 million offer from another team, I'm going to the other team because I can't play for that owner no more. Like, I can't go to work every day knowing this is the type of.
The skit from Dave Chappelle. Michael Jackson didn't do that. Would you let Michael Jackson babysit your kids? Hell no! Right? So when
You're telling me he didn't do it. What are you afraid of?
yeah, you devalue him, but in the way of salary but I'm not gonna let him go for nothing.
Yeah, of course.
So it's contradicting when you look at it in that way, right? Yeah, it is. But yeah, it's just I don't know. Facebook, what if that was Bucks?
That's gonna be the guy from Dallas.
Yeah. Paul, listen. Saturday we arrive in Dallas, so have some plans ready for us. All right?
He's already going to meet up with you for fantasy reasons. Totally.
So definitely do that. So yeah, the words. I think that's there's no coming back from that. I think the only thing that he can do at this point is just play football. I don't think he's going to make any waves.
Do you think he's going to get traded as soon as he's eligible to come back? Because this is week 4.
You got 4 weeks.
Yeah. So when this week finishes, I think they've been negotiating this whole time. I wouldn't be surprised if beginning to midweek, there's already a deal being discussed and they announce it.
But I look at
When's
it.
his deadline?
Week 8. I look at it from this point of view. If you sell now, you're selling low. If you wait and you hold on to him, there
Another
might be a
injury.
running back that might get hurt.
Yeah.
And you could sell high as opposed to selling low.
True.
That's my own personal take.
Billy.
Billy Patriots.
Yeah. That's just my own personal take on it. I think you hold on to that commodity until you can't hold on anymore. Or you get an offer that you just straight out can't refuse. Somebody sets the house on fire and you're like, I'll take that.
But it doesn't quarterback for the Colts.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew came in and led them to victory
But he's tough.
in
The
Baltimore
mustache.
He's tough.
in the rain.
It's the mustache.
Oh, that's what it is.
It's that porn mustache. What was it? Pancho Vito. It's that mustache, man. It just does it. But no, you could sit there and say, backup quarterback. You're supposed to be far superior, and they just, I could say that the not having Odell there,
That hurts.
that hurts.
But
But
did he do anything healthy?
Here we go.
But-
Even when he was there, the first 2 games, he hasn't done anything.
But know who's missing from Baltimore? Andrews.
Andrews
Yeah,
only
he-
So he
played
played one game?
I think he
No, he played last
Even
week.
when he plays, he's not there right now. It's like they're not even using him.
So I know he missed the first game.
He didn't do. He did. He
Like
And he
did.
did all right the second game because I got him in like 4 leagues.
And
He didn't do that well last
last
game.
game he came back with like 4.
He's had one good game, one subpar game, and didn't play another.
Oh, but still, yet.
He had 4
So-
catches for 35 yards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know why? He's really their best receiver.
Yeah.
So people
So
are
you
game
lock down
planning
on
to
him.
make somebody else beat him.
Yeah.
We're taking away Andrews.
You lock down. But
Odell's hurt.
Since Lamar's been there,
They got hurt running backs.
He's always worked well with less.
Mhm.
With Odell being hurt, that's been his entire career. He's worked well with a lot less, and he's managed to do it. He's just not making those game-changing play.
He didn't play
He
week
didn't play
one.
week one?
He
Nope.
came back week
And
two.
then he came
Week
back week
two.
two and had a decent game, and then week three was the 4 for 35 or whatever.
Yeah, no, I know he was inactive.
Because I know he scored week two, and I know he had a lot of catches.
Week two,
I
he had
definitely-
5 for 45.
Yeah, I know he was inactive week one, and that's the big thing they said. They were like, well,
those aren't good numbers.
no.
For a high priced tight end as you know, as he is. Look, not for nothing, and I'm not gonna pat myself on the back, but Laporta's got better numbers.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Why?
So-
I mean, we're
No,
talking
no.
about tight ends, but
Listen,
Mr. Andrews is
no,
supposed to be
no. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I benched him.
Ah!
And Laporta is one of those undersized guys, but great for yak.
I benched him, and he was 20. He had 24 points.
Yeah, 20 something in my
24 points.
my like leagues.
And
If
I
you
got
give him
I
the
got
ball in
given
space,
I
he
got
turns his
I got the
nothing into
jackass
something
of benching. He was the highest on the bench players in my league, and I'm sitting there saying, so you know the first thing I did as soon as the league changed, right? Yeah, I started him.
Put him back on bench.
I started him. You know who I had? I had God, and
he didn't do really
And he
much.
hasn't done nothing all 3 games yet either. But I got him in 1 or 2 leagues. I thought he'd be, that safety net for Hurts all the time. Everybody's taking away the deep ball. Well, you got him as a safety net. I thought he'd get a bunch of check down passes.
They're running the
Nothing
ball well.
yet. Yeah, Yarrow guy's looking like revived. He's now the number 1 running back over there. They named him the number 1 back.
But give it 3 more games.
that's what you're hoping.
You know what I mean? No,
He holds up. He's a smaller size back, right?
I have him in fantasy, so I hope he does well. But he starts out good every year and then gets hurt.
Well, he not at this tune though. He hasn't.
His number.
Yes, Buffalo
Yeah.
blew out Washington. So did anyone see the story about the Commodores and them being sued by a tribe?
Yeah. For changing the name from the Redskins.
No, I've
Because
seen.
the image represents a chief that was very prominent in the Indian Nation.
Yeah, I didn't read.
I thought I said something like that about maybe a couple weeks ago. I brought that up.
The Indians, they wanted to go back to the Redskins.
There was 190,000 signatures for them to change it back to the Redskins
Actually-
only 190,000.
at that time.
You know what I think?
Millions.
I don't think they wanted to go back to the Redskins, but they want that logo to stay and come up with a different name that's in better reference because Redskins
That's a derogatory.
that's a derogatory term because it's talking about scalping
Yeah.
Indians.
Yeah.
That's during the massacre. That's one of the biggest massacres our country's ever seen. They took the land, they exterminated all the American Native Indians.
Yeah.
So that's a bad memory. That we don't want to see somebody like some Negroes or worse.
Yeah.
So they wanted to keep the Indian name because the image on there represented somebody that was like a hero in the Indian name. I wasn't familiar. It wasn't Chief Wahoo, but it was somebody. It was somebody that they said was very prominent in the Indian community, and they were proud to see him on the helmet. It's not just your average logo. It's a real life person that it represents. And I guess he was like a warrior, brave, all that stuff.
So can we talk about the Cleveland Browns?
The good or the bad?
I think he's a top 3.
Well, if you look at his numbers that he's put up, he's right there in sacks every year, and he's a big man. He is a big man.
And he's agile.
Yes,
I saw the basketball highlights of him.
yes.
The boy can move, man.
And it doesn't help when he's like running from one side to the left and doing his little
Get
crossovers.
the 2 tight ends.
Yeah,
You don't know
you're
what
like-
to prepare for. The
you're
speed
like-
rush
yeah,
or the power rush?
Did you see him with the crossover over the side?
yeah. He's doing basketball moves.
Oh, you think you got me on this? All right, wait till you see this move.
Yeah, he's really, literally, like, I'm like, yo, look at this dude.
Yeah, no, but I didn't expect him, quite honestly. And I'm still not sold on Deshaun Watson. People are like, oh, he was removed for football.
Everybody feels like he didn't have a great game last week, right? It was in spite of him that they won.
Yeah, no, it was more so defensive led.
Okay,
Well,
well,
they gave up 3 points.
let me read something. He was 27 out of 33, 289 yards, 2 touchdowns, no INTs.
That's great.
He only missed 6 passes out of 33.
Well-
But the media's all over him.
Well,
He's not worth the money. He's not this and that.
Well, he has
Just see
he has the craziest contract.
Yeah.
You gotta play
Yes.
like your hair's on fire to have a contract.
Yeah, his
Bottom line is
his
they're
whole
winning.
contract is guaranteed.
Yes, exactly.
That's nuts.
So
So
based on his potential, like what he's shown already, it's not like we don't think he'll be good, but he has to be good in Cleveland. Like he has to.
let's put it this way: you can't have a subpar game, then have a clunker, and then have a good game.
And it don't help that his number one running back goes down. But
They have a good offensive line.
yes, Ford is doing the job right now, and then give Hunt.
Like I said,
Well,
I expect to win. I don't care how we win.
that
We win.
contract-
For that money, you have to win.
that contract is.
So you'd rather have Justin Herbert numbers and 1 win, or you'd rather have,
Who'd that,
moderate numbers and winning.
who'd that win? Who'd he get that win against?
Who?
Justin Herbert.
Yeah, that's his only win.
Who'd he get it against? I don't
I
remember.
don't know, some team that their coaching and quarterback can't get on the same page.
Was it
13, 15 seconds.
Purple team?
The skull. So
Steve, sorry.
So, any other games that caught your eye?
From last week, really, but it might be someone looking forward to this week. Well, the 49ers look great again. They're not having
Yeah, they played
no problem.
Bears, though.
No, they played the Giants.
Oh, the Giants. Yeah, even worse.
The Bears got pummeled by Kansas City.
Casey, that's right.
And Justin Fields did not look good again.
You see,
Fields.
so did you see when his wide receiver actually saved his life? Probably. You see when
A.J. Brown?
when he got hit and he got up and he started.
Oh,
walking.
yeah.
Mhm.
DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was walking and he was like,
We're talking about Chicago, yeah.
he was stuck like in a step and like kind of like.
Yeah.
That was a veteran move. Because nobody else noticed him doing it, and DJ Moore ran to him. He's like,
and you
nah.
know the sad part?
The refs are supposed to be looking out for that. They
The
got a
refs-
guy,
they got a guy in the
they got
booth
a- they got a
looking
they got a guy
spotter.
in the booth for that.
They got a spotter. That's what I was gonna say. The spotter didn't even
No,
recognize
he
it.
got tackled on his head.
Well, it was a blowout. The spotter might have went to get a hot dog or something.
But whoever that spotter is should be
Because
suspended.
that game,
And the quarterback, and he is a pocket passing
He's
quarterback.
similar to what I think AR is going to be for
He's
the
an athlete.
Colts.
Yeah. So if you see that, why are you trying to make him something that he's not going to be?
Because they're trying to save him, but he's
Save him,
trying to
you're
be-
hurting his career.
Yeah, exactly. When trying to be a pocket passer, he's getting
You're hurting his
himself
career.
anyways.
Listen, when you have an athlete as a quarterback, you let the athletic ability play. for
Let
itself.
booby spin.
That's right. You let the athletic ability. You coach around. You coach with that as your strong point. You don't take it away and say, "Okay, we're going to make you a pocket."
It's one of your weapons.
It's,
It's what you do best.
I could care less. About
I think
Fields.
that's irrelevant.
I think you know what? I think it's all.
Kelsey stays focused now that he's messing with Taylor
I
Swift.
think you know something. I think it's all a public stunt. Because you see the chicks that Kelsey was with.
Oh, his last chick is all over social media.
Oh, yeah,
clowning.
well, yeah,
Be
she-
ready for him to cheat on you.
Well, I mean, it is what it is.
She's
but,
hurt.
but yeah, she's hurt. But
That was her cash.
but wait a second. You look at her and you look at Taylor Swift, and it's like
Looks
so. What do you,
wise.
so body wise,
I
everything.
mean, I'll take the X.
But now, so I my thing is like, okay, as soon as you hit a certain superstar status,
Level of success.
rock star status, you got a date within your own bracket.
Yeah, they said since she showed up to the game, he got
300,000
more followers. And
Yeah,
his jersey sales went up.
yeah, everything
So
went up.
much.
Everything went up.
You would think her name was on the back.
Like fun, like when they were leaving, it showed him, and he was like, "Are you really filming me?" And he wasn't holding her hand or anything. He wasn't
Shaved
hugging
his
her.
beard.
Don't want to give her a big
He
head.
wasn't hugging her. That doesn't
Porn
seem.
star mustache.
It doesn't seem to me as if it's as genuine as people want to portray it to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Any other games before we move on?
I think, is there anything you're looking forward to with this week's games?
No, well, that's not.
I mean, this is that
I want-
snoozer
I want that
tonight.
Steelers Raiders game. And I know it was, yeah, but that ended up at 23-18. That's not. Sean Medina would be mad at you right now.
Well, he already clowned us. You know, he clowned. You know, every chance to get the, you know, he made up his own group chat and he put select few Cowboys fans in it. Ones in which he knows he can manipulate. And I always tell them, don't fall for the banana and the tailpipe. You guys are too nice, man. Too nice. But yeah, that game was a typical Steelers Raiders game.
Yeah.
You know, it's claw and fight, and whoever makes the least amount of mistakes at the end is going.
But after that game, though, there was a certain Raider that wasn't too happy, looking to go elsewhere.
Devontae Adams, and he had a great game.
Yeah.
But he wants to win.
Well, he should have thought about that when he was signing that 28 when he wanted to get paid, and he got that 28 million a year. Because that told me the same thing I saw
You're choosing the money over
when
the winning.
DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah, you took the
Choosing
money
the
over
money
winning.
over winning.
Don't be crying now that you got the money.
That's right. That are trying to change and take away a strength of his, which is the ability to run, the ability to create on the move, as opposed to just sitting in there and trying to make him, the Statue of Liberty quarterback.
They went and got a number one receiver and can't do nothing.
There you go. That's exactly what we said right before you tuned in.
Yes.
And they're
Play
not-
to his strength. He's successful running.
They're not letting him do that, man. He
They're not
needs to
letting
get out
him
of the pocket.
And not letting him cook. Not only did they get him one, they made a couple of moves. They got the kid from who's the other kid there? Big kid.
Claypool.
But they grabbed him last
Chase
year.
Claypool.
But now they got that burner.
No, Chase Claypool. He was traded.
Yeah, last year.
Chicago.
Yeah.
And now they got DJ Moore.
Yeah.
And they already had Mooney. So they got weapons, but he's not a good enough passer to beat him passing. But if he runs, now you can't adjust to the passing game.
And Komet's a good tight end.
Yeah. But they're daring him to throw the ball because the coaches are saying, don't run, don't run.
You know what it is, Castro? It's the curse of the Chicago quarterback.
Jim McMahon.
It's the curse. No, just think about it. When's the last time they really had a good quarterback?
Jay Cutler.
And what happened to him?
He went to Chicago.
Denver, right?
He was a good quarterback, and he was good. He wasn't good. So he wasn't good after he went to after he had his most productive season
in Denver.
He got to be spoiled. Looked like he was disinterested all the time. Always had a look on his face like someone farted.
Mm-hmm.
But my point is, they've gone through a lot of quarterbacks, and they let's put it this way:
Did they have Barkley?
Their quarterback
probably at some time everybody had Matt Barkley.
Their quarterback room is like the Patriots' wide receiver room.
But you know what's confusing about
Chicago
the
had a
Bears?
problem with coaches too.
Yeah,
coaches. Yeah.
I was just going to bring up a point on that.
Their last winning coach
Was Lovie
was
Smith.
Lovie Smith.
Who they fired?
Yep.
And
At 10-6.
10-6.
That's what I was just going to say.
Yep.
Yep.
And who they fired?
And he got fired.
That wasn't good enough, and they haven't been 10-6
They haven't
since.
had a 10-6 record yet.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What were you expecting? I think black coaches are held to a higher standard, and they never get a second chance. It's unfortunate. He was successful there, and they told him
Smith.
it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, Lovie.
Lovie Smith.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, we touched upon it. I know you said you came in late, but you missed it probably by about 4 minutes. We just
Probably not even that long.
Yeah, 3 minutes. We had just spoke about it, and we were talking about how Justin Fields got his bell rung, and no one spotted it, and his wide receiver had to come to his help.
Who was the quarterback when they went to the Super Bowl? When Devin Hester was the kick returner. Was it Cutler?
Yeah, it was Jay Cutler. It was Jay Cutler, and then after that, that's when he went down.
Rex Grossman?
They gave him a new contract, I believe, and he
A big contract.
Yeah, and he just never performed the same again. He went from literally being okay. This is a guy with a big, huge, strong arm to a guy. That's the wrong.
It's Jay Cutler though.
Jay.
Yeah.
Jay Cutler.
Jake
Yeah.
Paul, he played for the Arizona Cardinals
Yeah, he was a one-hit wonder.
from Arizona State.
Yeah.
But it was Cutler. Cutler married somebody that was in the industry,
Yeah.
the TV industry or music industry.
No, yeah, he switched right over. You did a Steve. He did a Steve on that. See, Casual. See what these guys wearing right here.
We're talking football, bro.
When they think they know how to play the game,
Hey, but not
We
for nothing.
adjust the rules.
Not for nothing, Castro. I agree with you on that one.
Yeah. This is what it's come down to. And he's already closed.
it's a month away. Less than a month away. Opening night against Philly.
He's already closed the book on his football season.
And it's hot as hell right now, but I ain't taking off my sweatshirt.
And this is the result, and this is what you get when your team has already packed it in.
Castro, don't listen. It was just cold, a little chilly. Have a clean bucks,
Steve was washing that hoodie at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
It was going to be clean today, no matter what. At the bottom of the pile.
I don't care if it's raining. It's going outside. It's going to get dry. But yeah, I mean, they've been cursed with quarterbacks. There's no way around it. Let's face it. Even Jim McMahon wasn't a great quarterback.
Yeah, he was eccentric.
He had a great defense.
He was the beneficiary.
And he had Walter Payton. Yeah.
Walter Payton, a great running game and the greatest defense ever.
Yeah.
I know a lot of Pittsburgh fans will say, "Oh no, they're not." But if you look at the numbers,
Castro doesn't remember. He had some MTV bitch. But I remember she was somebody famous. They had a reality show.
Yeah. But if you look at the numbers, he was
Probably the
probably the best quarterback. But every quarterback thereafter.
What Trubisky?
That was a reach.
And it set him back because you traded assets to move up.
Yeah.
You got somebody who couldn't handle the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say when you make a mistake in the top 5,
Rex Grossman.
when you make a mistake in the top 5, it sets you back
Listen,
4 years because you have to invest 3 or 4 years to see what
His name says it all. Gross, man. Gross, man. But no, I mean, hey, listen. A clock is right 2 times a day. Eventually, you're gonna get it right. All right. Eventually, you get it right. But so that we'll close the book on your Bears.
But yeah, they had the chance at the #1 pick too this year.
Yeah, Mike Thompson,
Yeah, but they already had
Jim
Fields.
Harbaugh,
Yeah, like I
Steve
said,
Walsh.
You're naming.
Doug Flutie.
You're naming.
Yeah, Tom
all,
Zach.
Yes, they
Yes, they had
You're-
Doug Flutie
You're
too.
naming all backup quarterbacks, career backups.
Steve Craig,
Yeah.
Cordell
But they were
Stewart.
starters in
Was he
Chicago.
related to Jenny Craig?
Cordell Stewart. Yeah, that was, Cordell
Orton.
Stewart was in the. He was in the
I don't even
final
remember
years.
Orton.
Yeah.
Kyle Orton?
Kyle Oren.
It's been pretty
I didn't
bad.
know about the wrestler.
It's been pretty bad. I do feel for you guys, and you.
I don't.
No, well, yeah, 'cause you're in the
Right,
same
division.
But I felt for them because, there was some years where they had a bona fide defense and they didn't have any quarterback. And there was a couple of times.
The year that they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They had a great kick returner, punt returner too.
Kevin Hester. He score.
He was the best.
Touchdowns were returned.
I think he was the best ever at that.
Well, his stats say it by far. And he's one of the only players to have an offensive touchdown,
punt return.
punt return, and kick return.
Insane.
Yeah, there was a talk that about him. Can he qualify for Hall of Fame
As a punt
special
returner.
team?
Why not?
You broke
Just-
records.
wait,
you
no.
set a standard.
You reward guys for being in the Pro Bowl, don't you?
Yeah,
Why can't you reward a guy like that for being a specialty position?
there's nobody come close to him ever since. So.
No. I mean, that's once again, if you're going to make a position, you should honor that position by putting, said guy into the Hall of Fame. No one has done what he's done since then. He is the standard for kick returners, whether it's punt returns or kickoff returns.
Yeah, you mentioned about
We now, I mean, let's face it now, kickoff returns are
Irrelevant now.
They've made it so that there's no violent collisions because you've got 22 guys just running out of 21 guys just running out of their minds, and those guys were always thought to be the ones that you said, yeah, he got CTS. Running down 50 yards at 20 miles an hour, and just a human crash dummy. So we know that they've made everything, they've basically gotten away from kickoffs, and you're actually rewarded by taking a touchback with 5 additional more yards. That's just the way of the game. That's the way the game's evolved. But still, he deserves the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to say something, and people are probably going to think I'm crazy. I would actually put Hessler in the Hall of Fame before I would put Tony Romo out there.
He's won a lot of games. It's just that he couldn't win the big one.
There you go.
Just the 500.
There you go. But yeah, I would definitely give a nod to Devin Hester before I would Tony Romo.
Because he set standards that nobody else has been able to keep up with.
He broke records.
There's a big difference between the best punt returners in history. Where does Tony Romo rank in quarterbacks in history? So I was like, when you say the best punt returner or the best kickoff returner, Hester's one of the 1 or 2 names you come up with.
He is the one name. I mean, like I said, all you got to do is look at his final stats. Most touchdowns and punts and kickoff returns. You can't.
Once he broke that initial line of scrimmage, you knew he wasn't getting caught.
There's no denying.
It just got further and further distance between him and the defender.
Yeah,
I think they mentioned about him scoring on offense and defense.
Yeah, because you got to remember he was
wide receiver.
No, he was.
He got drafted as a quarterback,
defensive back.
Yeah. Hester?
So the knock on Devin Hester was
quarterback.
He couldn't remember any of the plays when he was at Miami, right? He couldn't remember any of the plays. So to simplify it, they said, "Listen, go on defense.
Yeah.
Go on defense." And but I mean, look what he did. Once you put him back there, look what he did. But that was the knock on him, was he couldn't remember a lot of the plays. So they said, "Listen, we'll use you on defense." And somebody saw the potential.
Yeah, a dude like that, athlete like that. Listen, we're gonna give you 3 plays, and that's it. You run the same route every play.
Yeah. But like I said, even so, we know college is the playbook is only a quarter of it.
But I've never seen the impact that Devin Hester had. He changed field position. He changed the course of games. Your offense could be struggling, and then he'd run back a kickoff or a punt, right back in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about games that'll be happening this week, as well as we'll switch over to NBA-ish that we're going to talk about. We'll talk about the screen.
There we go.
The goal skull guy or whatever his name is. We'll talk about
the guy that's fading away.
Yeah.
It's not Skull this week. We're in basketball.
Yeah, Skull, all right. Yeah, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back. All right, keep it tuned, locked right here to WNB1 Radio and straight to the point sports. All right?
Yes, sir.
Stay tuned. The show is about to begin. show is about to begin.
So go ahead. What Kate will just help make that change. And also tell them that WMB1 Radio makes the Don't jobs, big or small, you be good. So give me a call at 508-74-4815 or visit our website, www.ubisoft.com. Be sure to mention that you want to fix it.
I talked to Lance.
Yeah. I think my sister's coming from Worcester.
It's no secret that the trucking industry is struggling for drivers. So why not look for a school that can get you the credentials that you need to start that new career? Get on the road to success with J&J Driving School and Logistics Instruction, located at 978 Nash Road in New Bedford, Massachusetts. J&J is
All right, enough already.
Owned trade school leading the South Coast in CDL training.
To all the people
J&J
betting on Green
offers
Bay
the
tonight.
most comprehensive training programs for CDL
We didn't even ask Derek his prediction on the game.
and school bus training. Don't let opportunities drive right by
Talk
you.
about it.
So go and see our friends at J&J and get your CDL career started right away. And be sure to tell them that WNB1 Radio sent you.
Welcome back to WMB1 Radio and Straight to the Point Sports. We're almost wrapping things up, but we got to talk about the trade. There was a trade in the NBA.
Trade? Somebody said
today, and
Frozen.
we don't know. We don't know if the trade is going to live up to the hype, but we sure can tell that one person here will agree. Go ahead, you can lead it off.
Guys,
Yeah, it's your team.
there's pros and cons to every situation. And I put a post out there today, and everybody's brought up good points because you can't double team everybody. And I'm just excited to have somebody of his quality talent and in veteran leadership, not afraid of the big moment. And if Giannis is not having a good game, Dame can take over. We've never had that second guy that can take over. And I just feel like we got a true dynamic duo, and then you still got Middleton and Brook Lopez. So I feel we are now the number one seed in the East. And I'd go as far as to say, if we stay away from injury, that we could be the number one team overall next year. That's how happy I am.
You think that it's going to work out with only one ball?
Yep. Because I think that before the trade was made, Dame Lillard already had the understanding it's Giannis' team. And he's coming in to help. The only thing that Dame hasn't done is win.
I don't see the problem between Dame and Giannis. I like you said, I think the guy that's going to feel left out is Middleton.
I think they discussed that with
Because
Middleton.
Middleton's not going to be the
I don't
problem.
think they discussed anything with him.
It was probably Giannis' call. They didn't even tell the coach.
I don't
Yeah, 'cause the way
Coach was, we got who?
the way that this trade went down, that was a big shock to just about everybody.
Except Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, right. He was pissed.
He was on there claiming tampering, and I was like, yo, none of us heard any talk. They went back to that ESPN draft for the All-Star game when he took Dame Lillard number one.
Yeah.
That's tampering?
Who cares? Who cares? I mean, stop crying.
But without all jokes aside, when you have a chance to get somebody of Dame's pedigree, you have to take that chance and see where it leads you. Because now, my biggest fear was Middleton came off an injury kind of slow last year. We didn't have nobody to pick up the slack. Whenever Giannis was out or didn't have a good game, now we have another guy who we can lead. And when
the way that, quite a few people witnessed it. And most notably, I told them, Brian Windhurst said that When you look at their odds, their odds are no greater than they were with Drew Holiday. He said, if anything, they will digress because of they're not questioning the offensive ability of Dame Lillard, but they're questioning the defensive ability. And Steve pointed it out that when you have somebody with the caliber of Drew Holiday who can play, a number of positions defensively, where you have a guy like Dame Lillard who is not known for his defense. And as a matter of fact, he could become a defensive liability once you start playing against the bigger guys. Once you reach the Elite Eight, Final Four in the conference, or the Final Two, he could actually become a liability. And that's not something that they really had when they had a Drew Holiday.
And Drew was also bigger than him physically. I think Drew's 6'5".
Oh yeah, much bigger,
solid.
And he's thicker.
That's why he could play the threes. Like he'd match up on a Tatum because it's a 3-inch.
Yeah. Well, just
He was strong.
He's strong,
Athletic, strong, and he played smart. He was never in foul trouble, but he played physical.
And that is where they're going to miss him for the most part.
But when it came down, when Giannis was out of the game, he couldn't carry the team with Middleton. Like we didn't have that second fiddle guy that was good enough to say, I can carry the load until Giannis comes back.
So who was that second fiddle when you guys won it?
Well, that was 3 years removed now, and that's when we had Middleton a little younger and healthy.
If I'm not happy, and I think, the birdies that were sitting on top of the perch, listen. And they were like, listen, this is a once-in-a-generational guy. If we don't take care of him, he may leave. And, and if he leaves, what are we left with then?
The bottom of the barrel.
What are we left with then? So I'm not going to say, I like I said, I when it first happened, I was thinking, I'm like, yeah, that's a good move. And then I started thinking, well, defensively, they're going to be shot somewhat.
Okay.
And I said to myself, well, and now we have to think about health too. Okay. Because you look at Dame Lillard, he hasn't exactly been the epitome of health.
And what's Dame, 32?
The last
Charlie,
2
can
years,
you check that?
The last 2 years, he hasn't been the epitome of health. All right. So you have to look at it in that aspect. Granted, he's not going to be asked to carry as much as he did in Portland.
Right. He was the man, only man in Portland.
But Father Time still is on. Sometimes you hit a certain point in your career and the injuries just keep coming and happening. We're seeing it in every season. He happens to be out more than he was the following season. And it's just, it's Father Time.
And everybody, including you, are saying Wendy, since you like Wendy so much today.
I love that guy.
Yeah. Well, it's an offense versus defense trade-off, right? So how many points is Dame going to score? He's 33?
Yeah.
So how many points is he going to score as opposed to how many points he's going to give up? I get
the side of the ball. But let's face it, unless you are the Golden State Warriors, defense wins championships. All right. When it comes down to it, it's going to come down to a crucial possession, a make or a miss. All right. And if you're that guy that's defending and has to defend in the final 2 minutes, it could alter a game a lot.
So I got a question that you're probably going to be more concerned with, but I want Derek's opinion on it as well. What's the big difference between this move and the Celtics losing Marcus Smart?
There is no difference.
Except
it's the same exact
Marcus
thing.
Smart doesn't score, but he's a shutdown defender.
It's the same exact thing.
Drew Holiday, same thing, but he's a little older than Marcus Smart. But you're giving up defense with the Celtics. So the Celtics are in the same boat. They got Kristaps Porzingis and we got Dame Lillard.
I know.
Who would you rather have?
I listen. It's both the same.
And
thing.
one gets hurt a lot more than the other.
It's both the same thing.
Yeah, but one he's a bigger injury risk than who we got. Porzingis hasn't been a healthy season. I think last year was the most games he played in 5 years.
It definitely has. But we're not. You don't see me with a Celtics shirt on today. So
it was cold. I told you it was cold.
You don't see me.
I knew Charlie was going to be here, so I had to rub it in because Charlie was nice enough to come insult me to my face today instead of, just in the messages.
Yeah.
So, I said I'm going to give him a little something to be happy with,
Well,
How's he gonna be happy with that?
I'm not.
Because he likes the green team. That's
I'm-
not the right one.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that what you just said was
I just
false.
find it very similar.
It is very similar because you gave up a ton. Now we can even go further. We gave up the defensive player of the year. Just a year removed.
Now they got the guy who won the defensive player of the year, and because he doesn't have that experience.
And
You didn't do that with Udoka.
well, the thing is, so we see their philosophies. You got one guy who was entrenched in defense and held guys accountable, as opposed to a guy who I think is playing into the new. I shouldn't say new, but the NBA analytics games where you take more threes. You get the ball more, you score more.
It's awful.
And yeah, it is. But it's today's NBA. It's today's basketball in general because
Believe it or not, they said he's in the hot seat this year.
the kids.
He should be.
Who, the Celtics coach? Yeah, they now got the two top assistant
I'm
coaches
sorry.
to add to his bench because he needs game experience help.
Yeah,
X's and O's. He needs the help.
But the thing that was head scratching to me was when he refused to admit to the mistakes and danced around the questions
And kept trying to outscore people.
So you can get away with that when you are when you're a Bill Belichick. Not when it's your first year on the job and you just inherit a team who just lost in the finals.
So you had problems on defense, and you trade a perennial defensive player a year away to get better next year. So that tells me he's got the same philosophy. Another guy who can shoot from three. We got Kristoff.
But they got rid of a guy that takes bad shots.
Yes.
Listen, as bad as it was, if I could have a say in the trade,
Because he couldn't control Marcus Smart, is what I was hearing.
I would have kept.
That's exactly what it was.
Marcus Smart throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
What's it? Random off. Call their trades, but yet they can't be traded. Oh, when it comes down to it, it's a business. It's a business, and it's not more. To me, it's not more evident than when you look at what went on with Damian Lillard. Here's a guy that for years said, "I'll never go and play on a super team. I'd rather lose."
Yeah, he talked shit to Durant.
Yeah, I'll never go. Well, he talked smack to all those guys. Listen, I'm gonna build a winner here. I'm gonna stay here. I'm homegrown here. I'm gonna stay here. Then the writing was on the wall. Like, get the guy. I'm in my 12th season. I ain't sniffing anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what ends up happening. And he thought that the organization was gonna be reciprocal in the way how they felt. They're like, wait a second, hold on, buddy. Hold on, wait 1 second here. Listen, we know you were in your feelings, and we weren't in our feelings that much. It's business. We're not just letting you go for a Happy Meal, and that's how it it went down. But in looking at the trade, I think it was more to say about let's keep Giannis than it was to try to, because if you look at the dynamics of the team, I mean, last year was an anomaly. He got hurt, and they were put behind the 8 ball down.
But that happened 2 years in a row because remember, we were the number 1 seed 2 years ago, and then Middleton got hurt, and we got caught by the Celtics, and we lost Game 7 because you said. Then this year, Giannis got hurt at the end. We fell again in the seedings, and we had to play Miami in the first. Well,
that you didn't fall.
No,
in the seats.
we were 1, but we lost the continuity going into the playoffs, and Miami ended up going to the championship. But we should have beat Miami in the first round. And I'm sure you thought the Celtics should have beat some luck because that Kevin Durant toe on the line, and that could have been a first round exit. Instead, we ended up and then something happened in the Celtics series, right? Didn't we play them? Who did we play the second round? Somebody got hurt.
From last year.
2 years ago when the Bucks won. But what I'm saying is we were very fortunate to go on that champ. Everything lined up for us. But the coach was still coaching like crap when we won the championship. Now, the second year, we don't get those same breaks. And he's getting outcoached by everybody. Miami outcoached him badly, and we made no adjustments.
They outcoached.
So that's why he's gone this year too. But I'm wondering. I know Adrian Griffin has been a good assistant, but I got questions about how well he's going to lead. And now you're handing him Dame Lillard. So there's a big adjustment in Milwaukee. The coach has to come in. He has to be similar to Ime was, because I heard he's a disciplinarian.
I'm interested to see, in Dirk's point, how your Robin was, and now he's not going to be a Robin. He's going to be just a, he's going to be a step down.
He's gonna be the butler.
yeah.
I think you're going to see
what was
him
his
play
name?
with the second team a lot when the other guys go to the bench, and he'll become the scoring focus when he's in with the second team. That's what I think he's still going to get his shots. I'll be surprised if he averages less than 17 a game.
Butler from where?
Oh no, that was the first
Oh,
Bell, yeah. That
They're
was,
saying Middleton's going to be upset.
G was from Fresh Prince. But,
Yeah, that's the new one. G for Jeffrey.
from Batman. It was
75 a game.
yeah, but Barry, right? So we've seen this big three happen before.
But not with the talent of a Dame. Oh, but when it's time for him,
I don't agree with that.
25 each. That's minimum.
I think
25
they'll
each.
both average 27 each, and it'll be Middleton that averages less.
I think his scoring's
17,
going to go
18.
down considerably.
But
I
you
think
got
he's
Brook
gonna-
Lopez.
Yeah, but well, this is the thing. Will Brook Lopez be bombing away like he
won't
was
have to.
before? I know, but now it changes your game. It
But how
changes
many more
dramatically
wide
your
open
game.
looks is he going to have? Because all the attention is going to be
He's gonna.
what happens when you play against Giannis.
well, I don't
Pack the lane, don't let him get the ball down low. Clog the lane on him. Now you got Dame Lillard. He can score on his own without no picks, no nothing. He can create without having to get the ball. He'll already have the ball in his hands. But Dame can beat you 1 step, 2 steps over half court, as we've seen. Banana shoots from the logo.
And he's gonna keep doing that. And how Brook gonna be?
If they're winning, nobody's going to say
Not
nothing.
even
If they
Brook, what
lose,
about- yeah. If they start losing, it's a wrap.
if they start losing and they're healthy, there might be some animosity.
Correct.
People feel like their roles were diminished to get better, and they're not better. They're going to start regretting. And I heard Drew Holiday was very well liked in the locker room.
Oh yeah.
Nobody was happy to see him leave. But
He didn't take the shots.
yes, but the whole thing was, I wouldn't have traded him for many people. But they're about the same age. I'm pretty sure Chris Middleton's the same age as Dame. And he's coming off, 1 year removed from a major injury. He didn't even play half the season last year. He was hurt. He didn't play the first 30 games of the year, I think. And then he came back and got hurt again. He played like a month and got hurt again. So he never got into his rhythm. I think they're lessening the burden on Middleton because there might be something going on we don't know.
There
Maybe
has
his
to be.
knee's worse off than we thought.
Because that right there, you're saying hurt, come back,
It
hurt.
went in over a period of a year and a half in between seasons.
Yeah.
So
But
that's
now
not
they
good.
got Dame, who can be a better version of the minors for like 5 years before you get to the pros. He's in the pros now.
All right. It's Thursday night. Derek's team's on.
Yeah, I
And, he's getting itchy. He's
The game's already over.
He's grabbing his keys like.
Hey, Minnesota's not playing the next game.
So
In an hour, we'll be saying that about the Lions.
we're gonna sign off. Just as a reminder, tomorrow night we are having a game night down at the Harbor Hotel in New Bedford. It's taking place at tomorrow, Friday, from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. We're just playing games, man. We got karaoke, we got
Karaoke and some trivia, right?
some trivia.
Like, what overrated team lost on Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, like you can't even.
Yeah,
you
there you
can't even get out of here.
What overrated team has won in their last 4 games?
So needless to say, that's going down tomorrow. Come on down, show some love. We'll have, like I said, we'll have all the games there. There's food there. Of course, there's drinks. That always helps, especially when these two are around. I just drink.
I might need 'em.
I just might drink my problems away. But nevertheless, come on down tomorrow. Support us. WMB1 Radio is putting it on, and we look forward to seeing you. We'll be back next week with more of Straight to the Point Sports. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for the people who responded. And we will see you next week. Until then, we are out, and we will see you next week.
Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Derek,
may I have your attention?
what's your prediction for tomorrow? I know you're going to be depressed in about an hour.
Yeah. Charlie, where you at?
Cool. Look, Ah! Crimping.